Imagine the perfect martial artist. Take a guy in his mid-20s, average height and weight. Now, imagine he's got great physical fitness, goes to the gym, lifts heavy 5 times a week, can run for miles, good cardio, strong foundation in grappling, years of experience doing wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then on top of that, years of experience boxing and doing Muay Thai. He's got the knees, he's got the elbows, he's got the takedowns, full game. And after that he said, okay, well now I can take most anybody in a regulated fight in the ring, so now I want to learn to fight dirty. So he then goes and says, all right, well now I'm going to learn how to gouge people's eyes, kick people in the groin, hit people in the throat. So he studies stuff like old, World War II hand-to-hand combatives or Krav Maga. And then he says, all right, well I'm going to learn the small joint manipulation, wrist breaks and finger locks and dynamic joint breaking from traditional jiu-jitsu or hapkido. So now you've got this guy. He's the ideal, perfect martial artist by almost anyone's standards. Whether you're a traditionalist or a self-defense guy or an MMA guy, there's no question that this guy can kill almost anybody in his own weight class in hand-to-hand combat. So now let's take our imagined fighter and realize that he would lose in an unarmed fight against a completely untrained chimpanzee of the same size and weight, and against most any other wild animal of the same size and weight or greater. Whether it's a wild dog, a hyena, a wolf, or various species of wild large cat. So almost any of the wild predators that nature produces of similar size and weight, this guy will lose in a fight. Humans are inherently weak. We are weaker than most of the animals. And yet, we can drive almost any animal to extinction. And we have for tens of thousands of years. The toughest animals that nature can create are no match for people who have a plan, a small group, and pointy sticks. And even with such things, man has driven some of the biggest, scariest creatures to extinction, such as what's happened with the woolly mammoth and many of the other Ice Age fauna. So, in short, the toughest and most highly trained human is no match for a wild animal. And the most ferocious and savage wild animal is no match for a group of people with a plan and weapons. I say this not because I'm trying to hate on martial arts or something like that, as I'm someone who's spent years of my life training in martial arts and still do to this day. But to make a point about priorities in self-defense, hand-to-hand fighting is a last line of defense that will most likely fail you if your assailant has met even 2 of these other criteria. For example, they have a plan and a weapon. They have a plan and a friend. Or they have a friend with a weapon. For your own self-defense, meeting even one of these criteria could potentially put you coming out on top of any given self-defense scenario. Meeting 2 will certainly increase the odds. There's nothing like having a friend with a weapon when the shit hits the fan. But meeting 3 should be your ideal goal, and then training on your martial arts and hand-to-hand techniques on top of that as a contingency plan.